I've got a very special guest with us today, one of our work family agents. Absolutely proud of her and all of our work family. And before we go into this fun time with you, my name is Jason. I'm your friend in the industry, and I'm so blessed to recruit and partner and coach some of the most amazing brand new and veteran agents, partnering shoulder to shoulder, selling life, Medicare, and annuities. And if you need any resources, including leads, we'll absolutely help you. JasonFinalExpense.com. So, Madison, say hey. Thank you for joining with us.
Morning. Thanks for having me, Jason.
I appreciate you. You're such a hard worker. And I always say, even in my telemastery class with you, that ladies can kick a man's britches when equally trained. And it's absolutely true. And is that not right, Madison? I say it from every stage, and it was in your telemastery class as well, right?
You said it multiple times throughout the telemastery, and you say it every day.
Absolutely. And you see how the ladies can just dominate. And this is just because when you think of a scam artist for the audience, you're thinking of a man, right? You don't normally think of a lady's voice. Ladies are less
Mhm.
threatening when equally trained. Let me tell you guys, you should be very fearful of the ladies. So Madison has done 7 sales in the last week for roughly 6,000 plus of written business. Absolutely proud of her. She's working hard, doing some amazing things. So we're going to kind of unpack maybe her background and how she came and found success. So, Madison, did you have any, when you joined our agency here, did you have any insurance background, with the
Not
audience,
at
if they could
all.
understand that?
No, I've done a little bit of everything, honestly.
Yeah.
I was working like service industry, bartending, cocktail waitress, all that good stuff. I was a personal trainer. Um, I did real estate for a little bit. I did a little bit of everything, but I had no experience whatsoever in the insurance industry.
So no insurance background, dealing with the bartending. How was the bartending and the real estate, like the money? Were you ever able to do 6 grand in a week? Was that even a possibility with real estate or your bartending background or training side?
No, no. I know with like real estate, it's definitely possible. And I was bartending in Vegas, so it's definitely a fun place to bartend, but no, definitely, I never experienced anything like that.
Absolutely. And you're doing full blown telesales. You're not knocking stinky doors and getting told to get off people's lawns. Is that right? Just so the audience understands you're doing full blown final expense telesales from the comfort of your home.
Oh yeah, all only phone, thankfully. Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you went through our 5 day telemastery program, and it's not the easiest thing on the world. A lot of folks think telesales is just grabbing a script and then running with it. When you went through the telemastery program, do you think that helped you in any way to find the success that you've got and continue to gain?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. I honestly don't think I could have been doing what I am doing without that. It really did like set me up to know the script, rebuttals, all of that. My biggest fear in like getting into the insurance industry was not being prepared properly for success. I was nervous someone would just throw a script at me or, say good luck. But without telemastery, I don't think I could have been prepared properly to start making calls.
You did the work. I mean, everybody in the telemastery program there, you got to, do the work if you want to have the chance for the wealth. And you absolutely did that. Proud of you. I mean, everybody in the class works hard. I mean, I know with when Hell Day happened, as we call it, and we're not talking about, for those of you watching, we're not talking about a 30-minute session where everybody's blacked out on a Zoom screen. We're talking like 2 to 6 people in a graduating class. Um, we do hours deep. When we went through Hell Day, we went through what we do right behind the curtain here, with some of our proprietary training. When you went through that gauntlet, how did you feel after you spent countless hours that day when you were done?
Oh, I felt it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders afterwards. Because when you're making calls, there's going to be objections. There's going to be, everything in the book. You're going to hear it. And without that training, like it was nerve wracking during Hell Day, but you need that training. And I appreciated you not going easy on us because that's what is expected when you're actually making calls, with prospects.
Did I treat the veterans in that graduating class or you as a brand new rep any different? Did anybody get treated with kid gloves? Because
Oh,
we had some
no.
veterans up in there.
Oh, yeah. No, you treated all of us the same.
And that's important for the audience to understand, I think, because a lot of agencies, you're dead right, Madison. A lot of times they'll join and they're given this rah-rah of, oh, 99% success ratio, BS of the industry. And then they're basically handed a script given a 30-minute session here and there, and then hope you make it. After you were trained and went through our 5-day platform and our telemastery program, when you were done, how was the ongoing training for you where we had constant mentoring, and how is the access to me and our work family when you need mentorship and training? What does that look like? Just so the audience kind of understands transparently, like when you need something like a question or underwriting or anything, even with an application, how long does it take you to get a hold of me or our team?
Oh, pretty much instantly. I know if you're, in the middle of a meeting or something, you'll, shoot a text, but within, I call you, text you within like a minute, you'll typically respond. And then if I can't get a hold of you, I can shoot something into the team, and then I know within a minute someone's going to get back to me. So it is nice having someone to go to with any questions I have at any time. Because as a new agent, it is, nerve wracking starting something. You don't know everything right off the bat. So you need a mentor or someone to ask all those questions you have.
Appreciate that. And it's so good to the audience understand some of this because do you feel like minutes matter? Like, let's say it was like most other IMOs where they say, here's a contract, here's a free script, here's some leads, hope you make it, go buy leads. And you get beat up by paying the price of not having, first off, knowledge or practice, and you pay for it by learning the old way, right? Which hurts. You're crashing a lot. If you didn't have access like you do, where you've got answers in minutes when you need them, and sometimes you don't always need those answers in minutes, but we're there for you regardless because we're a work family. We're different. Do you feel like it would cost you money if it was a 10-minute wait or a 20, 30-minute wait, or, hey, I'll holler at you tomorrow because I'm having dinner with the family? Do you feel like
Mm-hmm.
that may increase failure rates with some other agencies that kind of implement those tactics?
100%. I mean, when you're on the phone, with someone, they're not going to wait for 20 minutes for you to find, a quick answer. Most of the um, calls, they're one call closes, and you're going to make that person not trust you or, question you if you're, just keeping them on the phone for more than just a minute or two.
You're doing so great. I mean, you're doing multiple sales in a day now. It's not like you're some, brand new agent that this is your first week. You've done this a couple weeks, now a couple months, and you're just scaling. And how does it make you feel when you're writing, 6 grand in a week? How does that make you feel knowing that you've guarded families? Does it give you a little pep in the step? Is it something that's satisfying? I know it's not the easiest thing in the world
Mm-hmm.
to make the calls. 90% of the agent force, for those of you know, call it quits. Not everybody finds Madison's level of success, and she's just scaling and finding even greater success as she's moving in her own career. But most agents have a lot of disbelief. How does it make you feel knowing that you're attaining something that a lot of agents struggle with in this industry?
It feels amazing, honestly, like being able to help families and like genuinely connecting with my clients. And, you know, um, definitely there's some limiting beliefs when you first start anything, but once you prove to yourself, like it builds confidence. The second, I make a sale, it just gets me excited to keep dialing. And I think now I feel like I'm getting the ball rolling. I'm kind of getting the swing of things, but I also know that there's so much more room for growth, and it's just motivating.
Absolutely. And insanely proud of you. I mean, watching what you're doing and where you're going to dominate and go in your career, you're just continuing to get better. You're getting just doubles and doubles and doubles, almost like a normal for you. And that's power. Not ever, a lot of people, they can't even fathom. How do you get 2 sales almost every day? Like, what? How's that possible? And it takes a lot of work, right? You feel like, because you're not using a lot of, well, kind of squirrel jump into this for some folks. A lot of top producers, let's get real, don't use a dialer. Not that dialers are wrong or bad. Dialers are great. For the audience to understand, Madison, are you just using your fingers with fresh leaves just like I do?
Mm, yep. Hand dialing everyone.
Isn't that crazy? And a lot of folks are like, what? So you're not using a bunch of automations?
Nope.
Not at all. Correct.
Nope.
And here you are tearing it up, getting contacts, getting your capital, more importantly, taking care of good people. We're fixing problems, right? Is it
Mm-hmm.
nice to know that like you're a problem solver, and with our telemastery program, it's helped you how to, help you understand how to kind of get under the hood a little bit with
Mm-hmm.
the clients?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It definitely prepared me for, what I was getting into, making calls, and anything you do for the first time, it is going to be nerve wracking, sweaty palms making those first calls. But it was pretty crazy. This gave me a little bit of confidence, but my first call I made right after I got out of the telemastery, I closed it. And that was just like the best feeling ever. I think I called you right after. But it's just exciting. And the more calls you make, the more you learn. The easier it gets, but you're always learning. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So you just graduated, your first call, boom, and got it done. And
Mm-hmm.
that speaks to your discipline, Madison. You were disciplined like the other agents in that class. It's about, you know, practicing and honing. And a lot of folks in the industry, they want kind of this easy fix, right? They want bubble gum on a tire. They want to believe that they can just get a free script, grab a bunch of leads, jump on the phone, and somehow things are going to happen great. Um, and it's, I think, what attributes to 90+% failure rate in the industry. They don't think they got to buy leads weekly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Leads are important, but how do you like old school?
Oh
In our agency, and we have agents that use CRMs and automations and all the bots and stuff too. All right, my friends, so don't think that we don't have lots of agents that utilize that. But artificial intelligence is 100% artificial and really lacks any form of intelligence if you really knuckle down to it. If you ever gone to a car dealership and this automated face pops up and you're like typing in Madison to this whatever bot it is, it's a bot, right? You're like, come on, I just want a human. It's
yeah.
just, I don't enjoy it, but I'm not saying it doesn't work for those of you watching. But do you feel like being a little bit old school, you're keeping your world small and your wallet fat here? Is it helping you to stay laser focused this way, just like it has helped me? I mean, what are your thoughts
Yeah,
on
I
that?
mean, I don't I don't think it's a bad idea to, get a dialer one day, but it's not necessary either. Like being newer to the industry and what I'm doing so far, it's working. And I know, with practice and as time goes on, like it'll get better for me. And it's just not necessary. I'm going to stick to what works for now and just keep going from there.
Absolutely. Double down on what works and don't work on what doesn't, right? It's like it's one of those things where it's like the distractions of this industry are big. I mean, they just are. A lot of agents get distracted, be like, oh, I'm going to focus on Medicare. Oh, I'm going to do annuities. And it's not like our agency doesn't do that. We do all kinds of life insurance, right? Where people call it infinite banking, they call it debt elimination, they call it, annuities or secure retirements with lots of different stuff that we do. But we got to be focused at first if we want to find success. And I think a lot of agents don't stay focused. They think that, oh, if I buy this software, somehow I'm going to sell more insurance, or if I have this miracle dust, I'm going to somehow make it. And I personally, as you know, believe it's about those that do or those that get. It's action, right? We got to be making those calls, make those calls. And have you ever had those feelings too, where you think like, oh, this shiny object is going to somehow solve the world when you're on
Mm-hmm.
there? I mean, I know I have a little bit sometimes in my career. I've been able to curtail that when I realize it spanked me hard. That hurt, right? When I learned the hard way early on. But have you ever kind of seen that, like in the industry too, where you get
Mm-hmm.
all these email trains blowing you up, or there's some brand new thing you're going to miss out if you don't click on this kind of bait?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so easy to get distracted with all the new technology and everything, but it comes down to, the basics of just making the calls, putting in the work, it's what works.
When you went through our telemastery program, when we went through rebuttal training, when you got done, was there a rebuttal that you couldn't handle gracefully?
No, no, you definitely like going through telemastery prepares you for pretty much every, rebuttal you're gonna get. It's yeah, it,
Would you
it helped out immensely.
would you feel it was pretty turnkey for you when you went
Mm-hmm.
from 5 days straight? I mean, obviously you were able to write business immediately
Mm-hmm.
once you bought your first batch of leads and started, just getting on the phones. I mean, that's pretty powerful. I'm so proud of you and just what you're doing, what you're accomplishing. I mean, that's got to just, man, it feels good when did you ever earn any of that in your past careers? Was that even anything you've ever attained? I mean, most people don't make 6 grand in a month
Mm-hmm.
working their britches off, getting told when to take a smoke break, getting told when to take a lunch, when you can have a 2 week vacation. Have you ever
Mm-hmm.
had that where you've been able to produce 6 grand in a period of a week?
No, no. And, you know, with this, in the industry, making calls, it is so nice being able to make your own schedule. And, my partner is in the military, so I know we're going to be moving around. So being able to have that flexibility. But also, I know it's going to come down to the time I put in and making those calls. But no, I've never experienced anything like
I
this.
love that. And I remember our first conversation when you reached out at jasonfinalexpense.com, and you and I chatted a couple times, and we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about your ability to kind of navigate and kind of pop smoke and hopefully attain profitability no matter where you land. I remember
Mm-hmm.
that. It was
Mm-hmm.
awesome. And does it feel pretty neat to know that you're not locked down? You can go anywhere now that you're successful. You can just all you need is your phone and your leads.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's a good feeling. Definitely.
I mean, it's always different. I mean, did you ever think about face-to-face final expense sales? I mean, I know it's definitely it can be a little dangerous. You and I were kind of discussing this earlier
Mm-hmm.
today. Did you ever even think, was that even in your mindset? Or you're like, no, forget that. I don't want to be locked down to stinky houses. I want to stay on the phone. That's where I want to go.
No, yeah, I've never thought twice about it. Like one for my safety, and then two, I just feel like I've never done in the field, but I just feel like I can get so much more done just hammering the phones. Where driving, going, house to house, that takes up a lot of time.
Absolutely. And safety, I guarantee, you know, your family and your partner wouldn't be real happy with you being in
Mm-hmm.
danger, right? Like I wouldn't ever, I mean, never. And my wife is feisty, right? But there's no way I would even allow my wife or my daughter. I wouldn't ever want them to go face to face just because, like I was sharing with you earlier, I've run face to face appointments. I train face to face agents across this nation. I take them in the field to show them how it's done. That's why I partner with Madison and other amazing agents here and even agencies. I work with you, right, Madison? I'm not just sitting behind my desk all day.
Oh yeah. No, any question, whatever the question is, like you and the team, they're always there for answers. Yeah.
That's important, but the face to face, there's a big amount of danger there. I mean, beyond the fact that you're, dangerously high gas bills for those of you watching, it is $6 to $7 a gallon, depending on where in the nation you live. I mean, that's ridiculous. But I've had things that go bang pulled on me. I've had attempted carjackings. I've had physical assault on somebody's front doorstep where I walked up with a direct mail lead card, right, way back in the day, and I set the appointment with the husband, a little pink card, and I walk up to the front door. Hi, Mrs. Johnson. I'm here to see Bill, whatever his name was back then. And I'm holding my briefcase in my left hand, and in my right hand, I've got this direct mail lead card. And the lady's like, he didn't send that in. I was like, well, ma'am, I promise I'm not lying to you. And I've got my briefcase on my left side here, right? So I'm exposed. And I go, ma'am, this is the direct mail lead card. This is your return address label. I promise I'm not lying about this. I spoke to your husband myself yesterday. This is his handwriting and his return address card. I'm just here to help him get the life insurance information that we spoke about yesterday. And she goes, he wouldn't ever do that. And she slaps me across my face. Her handprint was on my face the rest of the day. And this is one of those things where the dangers of a face to face, that doesn't always happen. But when you see enough people, it's going to take place. And you've probably, I'm not going to assume here, right? But in telesales, if you get someone that's a little crazy in how they act, or maybe they've got some emotional disorders that causes them to maybe do some things that are a little bit violent, right? Do you feel pretty safe
Oh
at
yeah.
your home in your business and not worrying about somebody
Oh
assaulting
yeah.
you or hurting you or
Definitely.
stealing
Like
your
just
car like
pick
other
up the
agents have had
phone.
face to face?
Yeah, that I would never want to put myself in a situation like that face to face. That because you don't know who you're, talking to. You never know. But on the phone, I'm safe. Worst thing, just hang up and
Absolutely.
keep going.
And have you had some weird calls yet? Have you
Oh
had some
yeah,
people that
I've
were
been
a
cussed
little like
out.
more than bizarre, or maybe they weren't nice, or maybe they were a little, you know, not clean in how
Oh yeah.
they spoke to us or to you? Have you experienced some of that already?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been cussed out multiple times, but all you can do is say, thank you for being nice. Hope you have a great day and hang
Right.
up. That's
I mean, that's the thing. Like a lot of folks think that this is just, oh, we buy leads and they just magically turn it into money. And nothing can be further from the truth. If you haven't been trained, you don't even have a chance at it. I mean, realistically, if you have been trained, then yes, you got to go through the nose to be able to find the money. I mean, you're not told yes on every sales call, right? You're not just buying leads and they're just, saying, hey, thanks, Madison, you're amazing. Here's my money.
yeah, no, that's not how it works.
Right. I think a lot of folks, though, I think you've seen it sometimes where it's like, if you're not doing this, you're stupid, right? We just print money from the sky if you buy this special lead, and you're going to get told no for the audience to understand. Typically, you're going to get one yes, out of about three presentations. Is that about what you're seeing as well?
Yeah. And I know as time goes on, like that number will get better, but it's all practice. The more calls, every call is an opportunity. That's the way I see it. And, more practice, more calls, it'll just get better.
Absolutely. And I'm just crazy proud of you. What would you say when you were brand new was like your biggest fear when you were getting ready to jump into something that was brand new for you? I mean, brand new licensed agent, never done insurance sales. You've been successful in your bartending and real estate background. That was a great thing for you. But would you say, your biggest fear when you were heading into final expense sales and telesales here?
I would definitely say my biggest fear is just not being knowledgeable, getting started and also not having that back end help because I knew getting started, I'm going to have a million questions,
Absolutely.
because learning anything, you're always going to have questions, but just having that support, proper training, and, having people to reach out to if and when I do have questions. And,
Absolutely. And it's
working with you guys it's been amazing, honestly. I don't think without telemastery, I wouldn't have been prepared to start making calls and having the team there, you know, within a minute, there's always someone answering.
Is it fun to see the culture of the work family? Because we
Oh,
don't partner with everybody here. On average, we'll partner with 1 out of 30. And Madison's one of the amazing reps here and one of many, many here. Is it, is it valuable? What do you feel about your work family? What are your feelings about the culture?
I love the culture that we have. Like it really is a work family, you know, feeling comfortable and having people to go to and talking with, more experienced people too. It's motivating,
Nice to have people that don't hold back from you, that just
Mhm.
genuinely help you. Because I
Mhm.
know a lot of top producers, we can be a little jaded, right? Some top producers are like, I'm not going to tell Madison anything because she's going to steal my secret sauce somehow, right? It's like, is it nice to know that you've got folks that are going to be kind of generous with you?
Mhm. Oh yeah. I mean, more experienced people have gone through the same struggles that I've been going through and, going to them for anything. It's motivating to know that they've gone through what I'm currently going through and it's just, it'll take time, but it's possible.
Absolutely. And you've been doing this for months and you're just making more and more money as you're navigating forward. And, just crazy proud of you, Madison. Well, thanks for joining with us today. Thanks for being here for, great prospects that need you, taking care of these just problems with just powerful products. You've got so much just strength and success, and just insanely proud of you. Thanks for joining with us, and I appreciate you. Have an amazing day for you, the audience. And if you need any resources that we can provide you as a work family, you think you may be a good fit, look at jasonfinalexpense.com. Believe you got what it takes. Madison, you can lead us out.
Thanks, Jason. Have a great day.